What up, everybody? Welcome back. We back out here in the shop today. So, as my luck has it, it's currently dark outside. I started this video this morning. Well, needless to say, I started this video this morning and I just sat down after doing a bunch of stuff to edit this video to only find out yet again, and I don't know why this happens to me, but 90% of my audio from all the clips I did today was like an hour long worth of footage. 90% of it, the audio is just gone, not even there. I'll actually throw a little clip in here. Basically was my intro, and you kind of see how the audio just kind of fades in and out. It sounds real muffled. I don't know what the deal is. I've got the external mic and all that stuff on the camera. I don't know if the mic's bad or what, but like I said, I'll throw the first clip of that in here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Back to the channel. We back out here in the shop. It is snowing. It's butt off out here today. It's cold. I got the heat turned up. You can hear the heat running in the background. Thick. I don't know, 4 or 5 inches maybe already, and still working on this today. Got all the front wiring and stuff done. Started late. So, as you can see there, the audio was all trash. But I went to the hardware store today. Thank you for the heater going off. I went to the hardware store today, bought some materials. So we're gonna try and make a mount, which I already started on this. But the audio was, like I said, was all junk. So we're gonna go through and try and use what audio we could. But picked up pieces. This was part of what I already made this morning. This piece here, I actually had laying around. This was just some spare piece from an old turbo mount that I used for mock-up. And then this piece was something I got from the hardware store. And basically this will slide over this. So I drilled this and tapped this so you could put a bolt in it. And then once you slide this on this bar, you can lock it down. But we're gonna cut some of this, and we're basically gonna make little feet for the ends of this, so this pipe can sit on the fenders tops here. We just got to be able to have something that'll hold the weight up, and then that piece will hang the turbo off of and get some adjustability. But it will be pretty cool to be able to mount turbos and hang them without trying to put them on blocks of wood. Makes it really difficult to fab up hot side stuff. But anyways, we're gonna get into cutting some of these pieces up, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. Most of them will be time lapses. We're gonna try and make this short and sweet. But yeah, so we're gonna cut this up and turn this into some form of a turbo mount or turbo hanger or fabrication mount or something. I don't know what to call it. But anyways, let's get into it. Move it, you can change the angle, obviously this way to this way. Nobody wants their turbo sitting like that. But then you can tighten this up, and once I get the outside parts of it set, you'll be able to kind of see where we're going with this. But yeah, I'm gonna keep trucking along here, try and make some legs or something for this to get this to stand up off the front end a little, because even this, like where this flange is, it sits too low, so where that would bolt to the turbo is gonna be like down here, and that's not where I want it. Which, yeah, I mean, the intercooler right there, it would be kind of cool actually if I could get it low enough to get it just like, but all right, so my brain's all over the place. So you saw me make this. This was made out of 3/4 inch round tube. What is it, 3/4 inch? Come on, focus. 3/4 inch by 48 inches, maybe. It won't show you. I don't know why it won't focus on that. That was good. Real nice, Clark. Real nice. Okay, so I think I have another thought of how I want to do this. So this piece necessarily isn't long enough to say go on like multiple cars. So my thought is I'm gonna take some of this. I had this square tubing. This is like 3/4 inch square tubing or 1 inch, I don't know. But nonetheless, this will actually fit inside here, and it's a pretty snug little fit. Like, it's not real sloppy. Like, this is thin wall stuff, and this is thick wall stuff. If I put that 3/4 inch round tubing in here, it like moves around a lot. It's really sloppy. This is not, which I like this fit a lot better. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put 2 of these pieces. I cut 2 of them the same length, and like I said, I had just this laying around. Maybe. Come on. I'm trying to show you, and I'm like moving the camera all 95 different directions. This one, can't see it. See, there's a little lip, like a little dimple right there in the middle. That's causing it to not. Yeah, see, that's the seam in the. Come on, where you at? Yeah, right there. This is the seam where they weld it, but it won't slide on this. All right, so yeah, I dropped the camera there. Because of that little weld seam, it won't fit over this pipe. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this to fit. I'm gonna have to get the die grinder or something inside here and try and clean up that little burr from that weld, and then maybe we can get it to slide over this pipe. But the other one fits pretty good. But you can kind of see how I want it to slide over, and it'll give me some adjustability, you know, back and forth as far as where the legs will sit on this. And then if you need to, you can drill a hole in it and then slide it down, then lock it down in place. And here we're going to use this thin wall square tube here to basically cut some small sections and make some legs that'll stick off this thick wall stuff. We'll have one on one side, one on the other, and like I said, it'll be a couple little short pieces, and that's what's going to be the piece that sits on the fenders. So we'll have to get those cut, and then we'll get them tack welded and then burn them in, like I said, a couple short pieces. And what we're gonna do is, I've got these little pieces here. These actually came from my cabinets here. They're like adjustable feet. And my plan is to put these on the base of these little feet on this thin wall stuff. So I'll try and like slide them in here. I'll weld something to it and then weld a nut to that, and then I'll make it to where they're adjustable. So then you'll have some adjustability as far as where it'll sit on the fender. Since the fender isn't level, they're not going to sit flat on it, but you'll have some kind of adjustability with these little adjustable feet to be able to move one corner of it up and kind of tilt it back so it doesn't, you know, it's not weight heavy on the front. So, but yeah, we'll get these cut up, and then we'll try and get some of this stuff tacked up, see if we can test fit it on the car and see if it's going to do what we want it to do. All right, so got this laid out, and for this adjustability on these legs, you're going to have to at least make sure that these little legs are long enough that the threaded part of these feet can go all the way up in it without hitting the base, so you get like full range of adjustability with these. I mean, and they're about 2 inches long, so I need to cut these legs about 2 inches, and I'm going to mark these out and cut out 4 little sections. right, so you can see here we got these little stands kind of welded up and all that, and you can see how they're laying flat on the fender, and this sharp edge on the edge of these pieces of tubing are actually, you know, going to put weight right down on top of that fender. So I need to try and make something that will sit flat on the fender and take that weight right off the edges of them, of those little square pieces of tubing. So, you know, something just to kind of help dissipate the weight or distribute the weight. And I've got some flat stock I think I'll bend and make basically like little feet for these. I'll just have to try and find it, and then once I get that, I'll cut little pieces out, and then I can weld the nuts for those adjustable feet in the base of those, and that should help distribute the weight across the fender and not keep from denting it. And with this being this way, you can actually see those can pivot. So if the fender's not completely true or like completely flat, then it will rotate and sit flat with the fender. So that's kind of the upside to having that piece of round tube running through that square tubing right there. And then, you know, if you have to, you can put that lock bolt or a set screw or something down there to keep it from rotating and get the placement the way you want. All right, so I found some flat stock here, and it's a little wider than my 1-inch piece of square tubing, but that's okay. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how much I'm gonna need to cut. So I'm gonna sit it down, and you can see my little marks there. But there, so I just kind of like roll it over. You know, I'm gonna bend it, it's gonna be flat, and I'm gonna bend it again, and it's gonna be flat. So I've got some marks here. So I'm gonna go over to the brake. Well, actually, honestly, I'll probably cut this first. I don't wanna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna, darn it. Not sure which way I'm gonna do this yet, but I'm gonna take probably, I don't know if I'm gonna cut this off first and then break it, or if I'll just go ahead and break this and then I'll cut it off after it's all broke. So let's see what we got going over here. My metal brake is kind of sitting back here in the corner, and it's super hard to get to because I've got trash and four-wheelers and hoods and stuff everywhere. So we're gonna try and do this and not make a mess. And might have to do this a couple times because this is pretty, yeah, that might not work. It's pretty thick. I don't think it's gonna bend that without messing up my brake. Darn it. What if we put that here to the end where there's a sharper piece? Break it out. That is probably too much. All right, so I had to kind of straighten that back out. That's pretty much the angle that we want. I wonder if I can set this in here and if I can get an idea about how far that's gotta go. Not very far. Yeah, not very far at all. So if we see, like right there, it's all the further we need from it. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna break this again. Right about here. Should be close. And then I'm gonna try and help this bend a little with my body weight. And that should be pretty darn close. Hey, boys, check me out. I'm a fabricator. Check me outside. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So yeah, so I'll yeah, the bin's a little, could have went back a little bit further and broke it. You can kind of see it doesn't sit right down in that crevice like this one up here, or it doesn't sit down in the brake. I don't know why I call it the crevice, but that's pretty close. I may flatten that out just a little bit, and then we'll burn that one in, and then I can go through and I can drill a hole here, weld the nut on it for that adjustable leg, and we'll do that just in case we ever need some kind of adjustability there. It'll already be there, and we just don't have to use it on this car. Just like that, there's the other one. So now we got two of those little stands. We'll cool this off and we'll test fit this. We got the little end stands made. So now that those little sharp edges on the fenders, or sharp edges on these little bars, aren't sitting on the fenders, I'll probably still, like, you know, say on this car, I'll probably put some rags underneath of it before I set this down on here with the weight of the turbo on it. But now, since these, like I said, since these pivot, you know, the contour of the fender won't necessarily matter. And then if you want to lock it down and keep it from, you know, sliding or something, you can drill it, tap it, and put a little set screw or set bolt in it like this. And then now we can see where we want to put the turbo. I have a pretty good idea where I want to put it, but we're going to try and get some bolts, bolt this up to the turbo, and see if we can hang it in there and get an idea of turbo placement. All right, so just like that, we got that little mount made. So now we can, like, test fit how we want turbos and stuff. But I will end up having to make an adjustable one of these, but I had a pretty good idea, and it ended up like, this was already made from whenever this little section here and where it bolts to the top of the turbo. That piece I already had made because I used that mount whenever I was doing the turbo on the Malibu project, and it was over there, and I had it like bolted to the frame and stuff. So I just had that piece laying around, and turns out like the height is kind of exactly what I want, but I am able to, you know, if I loosen this up, you know, I can slide the turbo if I want it a little further over in the grill, you know, or if I want it back over this way, you know, to add more room for the radiator. But yeah, that turned out pretty cool. That turbo is a little heavy for that bar, so that tube bends a little bit, but the fenders are pretty wide on this car, so I mean, you get a little bit of droop in it. But that turbo is probably about as heavy as it gets, at least as far as the turbos that I'll be using. So, and then hopefully most of the cars I'll be doing won't be this long, but I'll have most of, you know, most of that little mount made up already, and then, you know, that'll get us by. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching this little fab video I decided to throw together. You know, you can make that little mount for 40, 45 bucks. If you got any questions, shoot me a message. You know, you can find me on Instagram and all that stuff, but don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell, get all the notifications. Check out our merch store, mremotorsports.com, buy you some shirts, and we'll see you guys on the next one.